Hello everyone. Today I am here to share with you part 3 of my spinal injury story. So last time I was telling you how my parents were informed they should take me home and there was no further help from the government for me because everything was owned by the government. There was no private places. So my mother took the matter in her own hands and she went and visited her sister and she told her what's going on and begged her if she can help her. She came for help to her sister because her sister worked in hospital, in a laboratory for many years. She was a great worker, she was very popular there, she was very social person and very likable person. So she was in good books with everybody in the hospital. Now, because the society was so corrupted, if you want something, you have to give an envelope. They will tell you no, even if they can help you, but only if you give an envelope, you will be helped. If the envelope is fat enough, that is. So now, what's the envelope? You put money in an envelope and you give it to the person you asking favor from, you need a help from. You say, I need your help, here is the envelope. They check the envelope, say, talk to me, what's your problem? And you tell them what's your problem. In envelope was money. You have to know what money amount you have to give them to be accepted. I never done that. That's another reason I left the country, because it wasn't my nature to do that. I just couldn't do it. Maybe if I have a child and need help, maybe I would do it, but I was not in such a circumstance. I would do it, doesn't matter what. So it cost my mother a lot of money to actually get me in the place, so I don't have to go home. And my mother's sister organized for me. I can stay in a hospital she worked in till the time my mom organized better and more suitable place for me to continue in my recovery after spinal cord injury. Didn't take long because there was only short time and I ended up not far from my town, much closer than the other hospital. I was in a child ward, but because I shouldn't really be there with my circumstance, they gave me a special room with only 2 beds. And on the other bed was always a girl who would be there only for a short time, maybe a week or 2 max. Those girls who will come to my room, they will be there only for testing. They maybe have done a lot of tests. They will have to wait for results in the hospital as well before they go home. So some of them stay weeks, some of them stay 2 weeks, some of them stay only a few days, like 3-4 days. In a way that was good because I was meeting a lot of nice girls. And I have to say they all were beautiful people and we all clicked. And we all had a great time. So there was never a situation where it will be thick, dark vibes around because we dislike each other. And in this hospital, it was much better for me because I can have more visitors. And my mother also organized some nurse to come to me every day, every working day, to exercise with me. And she was exercising my legs because I couldn't move them. Then she made me exercise with my hands. I was just still lying on the bed. I couldn't still move around, but they will move me around physically, on one side, on other side, and so on. Not as often as every 4 hours any other hospital on the special bed, but they would do it. But the nurse will come and every day for more than half an hour move my bags move my body around a bit and then make me move the parts of the body. I could move even lying down and doing these big circles, for example, doing this, and I was thinking what this is good for, in my mind, but now I know it was all very beneficial. Now, because I was very close to my hometown and it was summertime and we have a garden allotment, my parents will come to me, visit me after work every day. And it was dinner time, because it was around 5 o'clock, because they didn't come straight after work. They have to attend the garden first and the other kids at home and what have you, and then they will get ready and then they will come. And me and food, I was always funny with food. My parents was very well aware of that. And I was also strong-headed. I'm still am. And if I really want something, I'm going to do what's in my mind to get it. I have a problem with food from my mother, which was excellent cook. Imagine how big problem I have with hospital food, which is well known as not very tasty or not very exciting at all. So I want to now talk about the food. So my parents, when they come first time to visit me in this hospital, they would ask what we should bring you. And I say, ice cream. I want ice cream and I want fruit. So each day they came every day. They went to this shop in that town where I was in hospital, and in a special dish which keeps things frozen or hot, they got me full of it. It was liter. They get me liter of ice cream, which in those days was made of natural ingredients. So there was true fruit in those ice creams, and because the fruit in the summertime was very cheap, was everywhere, there was more fruit than cream in it, because the fruit was cheaper. The fruit needs to be used, because some fruit have a short season as well. So I was getting good quality ice cream from the best. I don't know how it calls, because it doesn't exist like here, for example. But it's the place where you go sit down, like coffee shop, which sells only cakes and might be some open sandwiches which are not sweet, but mainly it's the sweets. And my father, as the sugar addict, we used to go sometimes on a weekend in different town close by, because it wasn't in our town then, to go to this kind of coffee shop, and we will treat ourselves some nice sweets. For me it was always strawberry and cream or ice cream. So I was begging them to bring me every day ice cream, and they did. And the ice cream was excellent. And so I was eating for a dinner ice cream, and my father ate my dinner, because when they bring my dinner over, he would eat it, and I was really happy for that. And so that was one meal for me was sorted out, plus they brought us some fruit, so I would eat that fruit later on as well. I may keep some for breakfast. So for breakfast, because I always have the other girl next to me, I will ask her if she wants my salami or whatever I didn't want to eat. I ask her, you would like this? And if she get piece of fruit, I will ask her if she exchange it with me for my full breakfast. Just that piece of fruit, so I have 2 pieces of fruit for breakfast. Plus, if I have something left over my parents brought me, or I will keep some for lunch as well. Depends what happened at that day, if that girl wanted something or not, and so on. And also my bed, behind our beds was the big window, and if I didn't like something and girl didn't want it, and because the nurse would give me pressure that I'm not eating enough if I return my breakfast, or most of it, if I really don't want it, like the sweet bread, I never could handle the sweet breads. I would just throw it out of the window. It was summertime, window was open, so here it goes. You know, I was trained from home, I couldn't handle chocolate milk, so my parents was already at work, but chocolate milk was made on the table for us. I would go and just pour it in the toilet or in a sink, pretending I ate it. So I have this training from home already that I have to somehow lie about my eating so people don't put big pressure on me about it. And funny was too, the girls who was there and seeing me throwing some things out of the window, if they didn't like the food, they was doing the same thing, and it would actually end up being real entertainment for us. Because also above us was the maternal ward, and the man could not even visit the woman, you know. It's still like that today in Russia. The man can only visit the woman after 3 days she gave a birth in hospital. And I think in communism wasn't even that. It was, you never can see them physically. So the man was going under the windows there, talking to their wives, yelling at them, and all their conversations and stuff. And it was also entertaining for us teenage girls. And also, when we were throwing food out, we used to sometimes joking, we hope there is not some new father there getting some food landing on their head. And I have really great memory of those days. Because I was in this hospital for a while, I will do another part, because I don't want to make it too long. I want to tell you more stories from this hospital, because there were things happening which were for me big in that time of my life. Remember, I was still a child, I was teenage child, sensitive to everything, and I'm very observant and curious person, always was. So I learned a lot of things while I stayed there. And thank you for listening. Thank for interest in my story. And if you didn't see part 1 and 2, please look at it, because it's definitely interesting. It's a little bit out of this world. It's unusual story. So please check it out so you in a full picture. And till next time, cultivate love in your heart. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself and to others. And all the best. Bye.